Hi, welcome to another podcast video. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, screencast of me playing with Polymer. So, as you can see here, the description is too long of my Git time, and I realised I've got some conflicting problems with this, so I wanted to talk to you about it. Here's my editor that I use, and in the first box I say, look, let's just pretend we wanted to make a countdown timer. So we say something in here like, I'm going to use my on-screen keyboard. I know it takes up a lot of real estate, but I'm dyslexic and it really helps me write because it's got this little microphone button, which I kind of wish would just be in the bottom there. I could just press that because I never actually use the keyboard, although it's quite nice. Okay, so if I say what I'd like it to do, a countdown timer to count down to when a particular event is happening and then disappear once it's happened. Okay, so then this is my description, and I can put this in markdown. So I could say the countdown timer could be my title. Let's put that in here, countdown timer. I don't need to say what it's to, just counts. Okay, I'll just turn off this keyboard so I can see what's going on a bit better. Disability keyboard. Right. Now, as you can see, when I click off that markdown thing, it renders it and shows me how it's, I've got a nice big title, and I click on it and then I can edit it, which is awesome. Anyway, counts. You can see why I use the keyboard. Counts down to when a particular event is happening and then disappear when it's happened. Okay, so this is the element I'd like to make. Now, I thought it might need to display a date, so I use my display date element, but that's not really the problem. The problem is that when I render these, my description is too long for Bower. So this with the markdown is, I don't know how many characters, but I believe it would be over 140, and I think it might be 160. I don't know how many characters they want. Do they specify? Let me see. Yeah, 140 characters. I thought I'd seen that somewhere. So when I get to generate my code, now this markdown gets put into the code as output. So I can show you down here. Here you go. It's a markdown element, and then title, new. Should really have a new line there. Anyway, I'll sort that out. So, and then a link to the demo. Okay, so this is what gets put into the element, and then in the Bower, I put the whole thing in there. Let's see how many characters that actually is. I'll just copy that whole line actually, because I can. Let's put that in Vim and see how big that is. So that's actually within budget of the of what we need. So that's great. Maybe I don't need to change it, but it doesn't look very pretty. Really, for the description, I'd like to take out any markdown and just display it like that. And if it can fit into one line, that's awesome. So if it's going to go over 140 characters to avoid that error message, and I'm sure that they've done that for a reason, just go to the end of there. So that's 108. So if that was going to go over, I'd like it to take out some of it and put in the put in some dots, or even the dot 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 character, because I believe that's fine, and that's only one character long, which means I'd get more. Okay, so that explains my problem. Now the solution, I think, could be in here. I have countdown timer. What is happened. There's not really much to say. Oh, we could say displays in seconds or displays in a format of your choice. Displays in a format of your choice. Displays in a format. I'm going to use moment to do the formatting, because they have quite good like time years ago, minutes ago. So you can say time from now and you get a nice output. So yeah. So for that, date formats. Now this is going to be a link. So put my link things in. The link is to I can never remember which way around these go. Anyway, link is to here. So they do HTTPS. I'd rather HTTPS if it works. Nope. Okay, so it's going to have to be just normal old-fashioned HTTP. And link. Right, now that probably takes me over the output. Which is kind of what I want for this experiment. Right, so again I can click off and see there, and there's the link. Now the text itself is probably less than 140 characters, but the whole thing with its markdown is going to be bigger. So how to get what we want out of there? Well, I'm thinking if I inspect that My screen's a little bit smaller than it usually is to do this screencast, so just need to move things around a little bit. Here's my markdown. There's the content, markdown editor. Here's my markdown edit. That's the element I'm using, and that could output, as well as a value, as it does this one, it could also output the text. But I think I'd like to pull that from the marked element, which the brilliant people at Polymer have put together, linking to the marked library, which I think they did as well. Somebody, I'm not quite sure who did it, but this is really awesome work, and it's enabled me just to put two awesome things together: the paper text area here and the marked element, and now I've got like a nice editor. It's just simple, but I want more, as always. So let's see if let's bring up the console. I can't remember the trick. I think it's just $. Dollar. What's that? That's a function. Okay. $. There's a way of selecting the thing that you've clicked on, but is it $0? Yes. Okay. So I've got that. So let's see if I can get some text out of that. I think it'd be inner text, wouldn't it? Simple. Look, inner text. Perfect. So I've got the line breaks in there, but I could probably strip those out. And it's taking out all the markdown. And how many characters is that? 145. So, and I clear out the line breaks. Let's try that. So I want to replace. Actually, I want to do a global replace. So I'll use a regex in here. And I can say G global. Don't know if I can just say white space and replace it with nothing. And I want new lines. What is that? Let's see what it does. Right, 141. So that's taking out the line breaks. But it's still over my limit. So what else do I need to do to that to make it give me, well, I should, if I was to then, is it splice? 140. No, splice is not the right word. So, slice. Ooh. So, right. So that gives me 140 characters. But, so I could say, if, let's go for, so now I can easily write a function to test how long it is, and if it's bigger than 100 and if it's bigger than 100 and, well, if we go for normal characters, because let's use ... rather than the character. So if that is 140, then so let's just do it here. Var len 38. Do we put a variable? Yeah. Length equals that, which in this case equals 140. And then if length GH is greater than 137, then text this dot text equals it would be that, except slightly different. C V. Okay, copying and pasting isn't working. I'm going to write this actually in the module. Anyway, the point being is that I can get the inner text, which is using the browser to render the text out, and then I get the text. I can pull out the text that I want, being like disregard all the markup, and then with this bit of code, I'll just copy. Alright, so I've got like no space in there. Maybe I should replace the new lines with a space. Yeah. And then if I've got two spaces, which is often going to happen, so titles and stuff, replace two spaces. I can't remember if that's the right way around. Globally with one space. Probably not the right way around. But I'll just put two spaces in. Hard to count, but it's only two spaces. Alright, so that's giving me the output that I want. Nearly, apart from adding the dots if the character count is less than 140. Yeah, because if it's 140, that's fine. They might, you could just time it perfectly not to get the dot in. I mean, I've only got to remove two characters from my description to get that. But I could just go and now I've got the whole thing in there. So that's great. Yeah, I think that'll work. So this text output is what I'm going to then feed in. So I'm just going to go away and do that. But you get my process here. Then I'm going to look at my markdown edit. Copy, which I'll just go and find the GitHub page for. Copy. I can't remember if I did this under High9 or myself, but probably me. It's like, where am I? When this loads, it does quite a lot of calculating behind the scenes, working out how long people have worked on it, so you know you can work out what's a good element or not. But apparently, I spent 5 hours. Oh no, even more, 7. Lots of time on it, and I've obviously got markdown in my description there, but I don't want to pull it from the bar file. I want to pull it from the element because that's where I'm going to put the full markdown. So I've got to change things around. But anyway, there's my GitHub link, and it was me, Marcus. Oh look, and I haven't started it. I should do that. Right. So there's a text area, and this gives me the markdown, if not focus. So what I want the marked element to publish. Although if I don't actually add anything, I could use, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, I think. Because this whole, yeah, it might well work. Let's see. Sorry, all this stuff's going on in my head now. Right, if I was to pick my whole markdown edit, run the same code on it. Yes. So I could always use the inner text, even if it was in edit mode. What do I get then? Nothing. Okay, so it's got to be markdown rendered to get the output. But as I'm loading that anyway, I think what I'll do, because I don't want to show them both, but here we are. Let's see, what have I got on clipboard? Markdown edit, that's fine, I can give it that. So I'm going to take this element and get it to be rendered out anyway, which is probably not the most efficient way of getting the text, but it's kind of cool. No need to tap, and in fact I want that to be hidden. And if it's hidden, maybe it won't actually show me what I want. STYLE. Let's give it a height of no pixels. I think that will pretty much make it invisible. The value is the markdown. Now I want to grab the inner HTML, the inner text. So let me just see if it works without me wrapping it, because I was thinking I'd have to wrap it and then pull the text in from the rendered version, but maybe not. Let's try. In text. Sorry, wrong keyboard. Equals. I think I can safely call that text. Or text value. I think I'd like to use text. And because this is basically just for internal use only, I'm going to give it an underscore. Now I want a new notifiable text. And the value is going to be computed, and the type is going to be a string. Now I don't need to declare what type it is. I'm just going to say it's computed by get text. And what do I need for that? I need that value. So if the text attribute gets set, then we know that this bit works. If it doesn't get set, then we know we need to do something else. I'm going to leave my dangling commas in because I like them. Alright, so now I need to write this function. And as I'm not, I like Safari, so I'm not going to use arrow functions. And I want to keep it in the same sort of format as what I've done before, so I'm leaving the function in there as well, even though it's not strictly necessary. Oh, and speaking of style, let's add that, just in case it works. Oh, and I might as well add a style as well, for extra style. Okay, so now all I need is to return nothing. No, I actually want to return text value. And because this is like not necessarily for all of my not just for me, isn't it? I'd like this to work for other people as well. I just want to return the text value for now, the inner text value, and not strip out all of the stuff. I'm going to do that in my app because that's a more appropriate place to put it. But for now, just the text value, and I'm putting it through this get text function to make sure that I could manipulate it if I want. I think universally removing the double spaces is a good thing to do. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, maybe I don't even need that. Maybe I could have just said text value and stick it in. It's not necessarily needs to be computed. It certainly doesn't need these awful looking commas, what are they called? Semicolons. Yeah, so this is actually the equivalent of just saying notifier equals true on text value. We could also add a maximum characters. That way it could still be done in here, and yeah, okay, let's try that. Max characters. Oh, such a long word. Length. Max length of text. Oh, God. Yeah, I think I'll do that computing outside because I'm just going to keep on adding complexity where it's not needed. And because that is the equivalent of doing that, I'm just going to cancel out what I just did and say notify equals true, and it's not computed because it's already been computed by the browser, and I don't need to write a function to get it for me. because I'm not going to do the string manipulation here. I'm going to do that in my app, but I do want to be able to get the text out. So that should do it. Let's see if it works. Say update. And quickest way to test is me to run it locally. Now go back to my computer. Now I put all my Git repos in a Git repos directory within my project because I don't actually want to upload all my Git repos. Mostly, I want to be able to upload select portions of them, but I do find them useful to have because I'm not always online. I am at the moment, but I'll be on a train later on my way to the Polymer Summit. Yay! And that'll be fun. Anyway, what was I doing? Markdown, is it? Markdown edit. Here we go. So, git pull. Git pull. There we go. So I got my additions, and now I run that locally from my dist directory. Now my favorite web server is Caddy, so I'm just running that for my local serving. Local host. Where am I? Oh, here we are. Right. So here's something. Yeah, this is just me playing around code, so I don't need to keep that. Right. That's not got a height of 1. How annoying. Height 0. H-I-G-H-T. I probably misspelt it. Is it just H? Is it H-I? H-I-E? Oh, I have no idea. Styles. Not very good at styles. H 0. I see. Overflow. Hidden. Sweet. So yeah, that's what I was missing. Overflow. So let's add that. I'll do it through GitHub, even though I've got it locally. I quite like the GitHub editor. I prefer Vim, but I'm so used to it. This way I make sure before I test it, I've already saved it somewhere permanent. Because what happens if my Chromebook blows up imminently? Oh, I'm recording this on my Chromebook, by the way. And I found out a way of resizing this thing. You just visit the page and then zoom out. Simple. And then you can get to your buttons. Right. Anyway, that's saved. Now, I've already run code, so let's just open a new to pull it in. CD, no. First of all, we'll go into Crouton. Right. Don't need this. I need Git repos, CD, markdown, Git pull. That should look exactly the same once I open the tab after it reloads. I do have cache disabled, don't I? Just make sure. Yeah. Good. Right, so here's my element. Now, $0 inner HTML. No, what I want is just its text. Undefined. Damn you. Oh, it's paper material. I want input save. I want markdown edit. Oh, I've got a little bit of debugging to do. I'll do that without being recorded because I'm going to run out of disk space soon, being as I'm only on a Chromebook, and find out what I'm doing wrong here. But I seem to have the marked down element here, and that's got inner HTML and inner text with nothing. Well, that's odd because the value here should be updated live. Yeah, anyway, like I said, I'm going to stop and do some debugging, and the end result will be up on Open Elements anyway. Just click on the making a element. At the top of the page. I'll show you just quickly. So at the top of the page here, it's making an element. Click that. It takes you to the editor that I'm using, and I'm making it incrementally better every day. So then you can see the editor here and check it out, find out whether it's working or not. Obviously, it's completely openly open source, and love help making it look nice. As you can see, I added some colors and some icons and stuff in celebration of going to the Polymer Summit tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm leaving tonight at 9:30, and I'll get there early in the morning. Just the way I roll. And with this, you can make stuff like the countdown timer, which won't be on yours because this is using local storage, but I can give you a link if you like. Here's a link to the start of countdown. We seem to have other HTML in there. Anyway, here's the countdown timer so far. I'll give you a link to this instead. I just want to make sure it's the proper link. Yeah, that's the one. Copy that, and I'll add that to the description, and then you can see where I was up to. Cool.